His name on the show was Mike Nelson. Two sons, Bo and Jeff, that you younger ones might know. Also, Smokey and the Bandit 3 was filmed here. And there was a scene from Moonraker 007, Roger Moore here. So I can't overemphasize to you how big a deal the movie industry was here in the heydays of Silver Springs when ABC was the leaseholder. The only thing that changed it was Walt Disney. The only thing that has survived is this dock, a boat about a half mile down to our left, and some statues that I'm going to show you at the end were put there for a certain television show. Otherwise, the only thing that has survived the test of time for over 140 years are the glass bottom boats. Everything else from those days are just something I'm telling you back when we had 9,000 people a day. We have about 800 today. So again, this was a big deal in its day. Of course, Disney changed it all. Now, again behind us, the current's flowing about 4 miles an hour. We followed all the way behind us for 300 miles. We'd end up in Jacksonville, Atlantic. That's the trajectory of the water. We share it with kayakers, paddleboards, and boaters because it is a state park. Nothing was on this river prior to about 2013 except glass bottom boats for over 100 years. The state seems to be keeping it. They want to keep it a wildlife preserve. This team would be very interested in glass bottom boats, continue it, but it's certainly not the same that it was in the 60s before Disney. Hike on the right, you can go along the river and then go back towards this big mansion back there called the Twin Oaks Mansion. It was put there for entertainment purposes. It's now a wedding venue. And the hike on the left, which goes over bridges and around the boardwalk, is called the Ross Allen Trail. He was our alligator wrestler and snake handler of the day. And you can walk around each of those sites and look for monkeys. You never know where they're going to be. You can make them in hikes in 30 minutes. There's benches along the way, easy to do. Just enjoy the day. And it's a beautiful day to just get out and hike around. It's part of the deal here. We try not to run over kayakers against our better judgment. So the waters remain pretty good though. We have less flow, of course. What's this say? All this stuff hanging from the trees. If you're not from Florida, it's called Spanish moss. Used by the Indians exclusively as bedding, plants, and fire starter and rope. It's an air plant. It's a member of the pineapple family. And it just grows there because of the climatic conditions that we have. Spanish moss. We get around the corner and talk a little bit about our early inhabitants. That's our Seminole Indians that lived here. They were not an original tribe, but that was the name given to them by the Spanish. And for our sake of history, we call them all Seminoles. They loved this place. They had it made here. They could drink it. They could swim in it. Everything that they wanted it to be, it was. There's a statue up here on the right. You can go look at it if you like, on the right hike, on the Twin Oaks Mansion hike. And it's a young man called Billy Powell. Billy Powell. From age 15 to age 34, he did everything in his power to preserve this river for the Seminole people who lived here. He was not able to do so. Once he was lost, the Seminoles, most of them were shipped to Oklahoma. Some of them ran to the Everglades where they've never been captured today. But Billy Powell tried everything in his power to keep it from him. His dad was Scottish, white. His mother was Indian. You don't know him by the name, if you live in Florida, of his real name, Billy Powell. You know him by his honorary name, which is Chief Osceola. Osceola Parkway. Georgia State University mascot, Chief Osceola. He was never a chief, but that was a name given to him by the Spanish and by the Seminoles for all the work that he did on their behalf. He didn't succeed, but he tried. There are no Seminoles here now. Again, most of them are in Oklahoma. Now we're coming on the largest spring that we have. Where we're coming on is a place called Mammoth Spring. I'll take you back to our two springs and remind you of those. Our history, 20 million gallons and 60 million gallons is what I showed you. And again, coming from our underground drinking water supply, we call our aquifer. If the aquifer is not overflowing, for example, we get too many people drinking too much water and we have no rain, then we end up with no springs because there's no overflow. No overflow, no spring. It would just sit in that tub, whatever it would be, and fill it up. This one is over 200 million gallons of water. It's going to be 50 feet deep. This is our deepest spot in the river. This is the head spring. This is the beginning of the Silver River, and everything goes down. Everything goes north from here towards Jacksonville. Again, about 300 miles. Everything goes due north here. This is the start of the Silver River here. Also, super place where everybody wanted to film here. Everybody and their brother wanted to film here. Everybody wanted to do movies right here. And so ABC loved this spot because it was so much easier to do movies here than it was, as an example, to try to do it in the ocean. So they did everything they could to make this spot like the sea hunt spot, and make it look like they were in the middle of the ocean. So a whole lot easier to film here with all the no waves and no current and no salt and no sharks and nothing else. So it was 50 feet deep. Again, this is the beginning of everything right here. Now I'm going to show you a movie. I showed you the Lloyd Bridges, the Sea Hunt dock. I told you there's a boat down the river a little more. This one is our last of our movie props. There was a TV show put here in 1965 in which I ran. I remember this show, and I watched this episode. The episode was about Greek gods, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. And they're right here going to be underneath of us. I'll spin you guys around. They're statues that are 8 feet tall, 50 feet deep. They were put here in 1965 because of a television show. And the television show was called I Spy. Robert Culp and Bill Cosby. It was a famous show back in the day, and their deal on this particular show was they were supposed to be in Greece. These are supposed to be Greek gods. They swam down and found these Greek gods, and that was the episode they were in. So keep that in mind. Everybody see them down there? I'll spin you guys around so the right side can see them a little bit better. Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon is what they're supposed to represent. Again, they were left here because they're movie props. Again, the heydays of Silver Springs. So you know all about the spring water, you know the flow of it, you know the clarity of it is drinkable, you know about the movies and ABC's role, you know about Walt Disney's role here. So you kind of learn a little bit about that, a little bit of everything. The movies were big here. But one thing that has survived the test of time is the glass bottom boats for more than 140 years. So that's pretty cool. And again, fun for me to come back here after 65 years, come back here and run a boat here in my retirement. So thank my parents for bringing me here, and I thank you for bringing yours.
Who are the three Greek gods again?
Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon.
Poseidon.
Poseidon. Yes,
In the bottom of the this one?
it's down there. Yeah, it's down the river. Yeah, it is. It's silted over now. You can't hardly see it. We went over it. You just didn't see it.
Yeah. I came here the first time when I was about 8 years old.
Okay.
And I haven't been back in so long.
Yeah. What do you remember from those days?
Well, I remember.
Remember the boats?
I don't remember the boats being this big.
You don't?
And